Let's go on and talk about the important stuff. How are teachers using video conferencing in Alberta right now?
Good question. We're seeing the kindergarten to grade 12 education system using video conferencing in a variety of different ways. One of the ways is through course enhancement, where you'll have a teacher in a school with a face-to-face group of students that has a video conference unit in that learning space and will connect to others to enhance some of the curriculum they're teaching face-to-face. For example, next week we have Vcrln from the U of A, an expert presenter on computer game development, connecting with students who are involved in CTS courses in high school. So these kids might be involved in game development, but they, through video conference, are able to connect through an expert guest presenter such as Adam and several others, hearing primary source information right from the experts themselves, or in some cases researchers, or some cases subject area specialists of different types. We had an author yesterday here in this video conference suite, an Alberta author, connect with Alberta students and talk about the writing process. It can be a very motivating experience. So course enhancement through, and that can be, again, through the expert guest presenters. It can be through class-to-class collaborations where students are talking to other students, either large numbers of students doing presentations or sharing information or opinions or ideas with each other related to their areas of study, or in some cases it's one class connecting with another class. Not only can that be a very motivating experience for the students in terms of preparation, but having that authentic audience on the other hand, and on the other end of the video conference and other students, we know students like to talk to other students, can provide for a very meaningful learning experience for them, and sort of allows them to take charge of their learning. So the class enhancement is one big use of video conference. Another way that video conference is being used, in particular in remote rural schools in Alberta, is through full course delivery. As I mentioned a bit earlier, we'll see sometimes a teacher, and in some cases a teacher has a group of students in front of them, but they'll bring in one or two other schools, or you may have a small number, 2 or 3 or 5 students, who wouldn't otherwise have the opportunity to take that particular course. It might be a specialty course such as High School Math 31, for example, or some other specialty course, perhaps a second language course, and there may not be enough students in that particular school to be able to offer that course, or perhaps the expertise from the teaching staff isn't at that particular building. So by being able to connect through video conference, those students are able to have a greater access to a wider variety of courses. It's also proven to be a very cost-effective model for schools. We've heard stories from school jurisdictions that if it worked for video conferencing, their school wouldn't even be able to stay open in some small rural jurisdictions. So it's not just about saving pinching a few pennies. We're talking about keeping schools open and offering kids as many courses as possible to enhance their learning experience. We're seeing that right from elementary school right on through high school in a variety of different courses. Course enhancement, as I mentioned, course delivery is another use of video conference. Professional development. We're seeing teachers being able to connect to other teachers for professional conversation, or to expert guest presenters and learning experiences through that way. Be it through a central location in a school jurisdiction, connecting to other schools in that same jurisdiction, or in some cases it's an expert presenter that's far away, being brought in through video conference that otherwise the teachers might not be able to listen to. So those expert presenters and class-to-class collaborations happen not only for the students but also for the teachers. Another way that video conference is being used is for meetings and administrative purposes. To take the scenario, for example, of let's say in a rural school jurisdiction where you have school principals who want to meet together for a meeting. In some cases, you're talking about traveling a great distance, taking a lot of time for that travel. In some cases, we love Alberta, and it's a variety of weather throughout a single day, much less throughout the year. So in some cases where the road conditions are poor or the traveling can be a bit dangerous, we can see these people meeting through video conference from time to time, and saving time, saving money, In some cases, it's a bit safer, it's efficient, and in some cases it makes the difference between whether they decide to meet frequently or not. And so for meetings or administrative purposes, interviews are being held through video conference as well as meetings, and it's proving to be an effective way for a lot of school jurisdictions to do business. I would say the final category, and this isn't, I wouldn't say a primary use of video conferencing, but we are seeing it in a lot of school jurisdictions where students are able to receive specialized services from professionals in healthcare. There's speech and language, assistance is being given, and all types of, occupational therapy, all types of specialized services where, an expert may be located in a central location such as a city reaching out to a rural area, or maybe it's one particular city and a student in another city. You have a specialist in a particular location that is able to meet and in some cases deliver the services right through video conference. In other cases, those specialists are talking with the professionals that work with that student, such as a teacher assistant or a teacher or an administrator or parents even in some cases, and offering some advice or training or information to help with those specialized student services. So again, variety of different uses of video conference we're seeing here in the province.